Alright guys, welcome back to Celica 101, and today is going to be an instructional video, and it is going to show you how to tint your fog lights, but in this video I will be tinting my blinkers. Alright, so what you'll need to complete this video is of course the tint itself, so you can order that from really anywhere, and then a thing to get all the bubbles out of it, which you'll need that because you will most likely not get it right the first time. And then a hair dryer, which you could just use any hair dryer, you don't have to have a specific one, and to heat it up and spread it over the light. And for Celicas, you have to have a screwdriver to get the light out. So okay, so the first thing that you want to do is take out the blinker. So all you have to do is unscrew this. And then the entire blinker should pop right out. In the back you'll have a little light with some wires pulling out, and all you have to do is twist it and then it should slide right out. So here's the light, and now we have to take out the other side. Alright, so now that we have the lights off, what we want to do is clean them because they're pretty dirty and grimy from being used all the time. So what we can use to clean them is just basic Windex or really anything like that, and then just some paper towels. Alright, so now that the headlight is nice and clean, we can now apply the tint. So what you'll need to do is take your tint and put it on and cover it as if you were going to stick it right on. So that's basically how it's going to look. So now what we have to do is cut out a section with just any scissors or anything sharp that you can cut it with, really. And what you want to do is get some on the edges so that you can still have some sections, but you want to save as much of it as possible. Alright, so there we go. Now we have a nice piece that overlaps it pretty well. Okay, so now we have our hair dryer plugged in, and we have our clean light and our tint cut out. So now what you'll have to do is remove the plastic on the sticky side of the tint. And this is probably the hardest part of this entire upgrade. Okay, so now that I got one of the sticky sides off, you just pull it off. And you put it as tightly on, you pull it tight and put it on. And then you just kind of smooth it out like this. So now it's pretty stuck on there, but it still has some bubbles. So now what you'll have to do is turn on the hair dryer. What that did is shrunk it around the light. And so now, as you can see, if you look closely on it, you can still see some air bubbles, and that's what you use this for. And so you just scrape them out. And now it's looking pretty clean. So now what we'll have to do is we'll have to make the edges more neat, because you don't want it flopping around in the wind and looking like this, clearly. So now what we'll do is we'll cut a little bit pretty close to the line, but just leave enough so that you can tuck it under. And so now that it's mostly done, you want to pull off the top layer so that none of the air bubbles in between the two layers remain. So here we go. Tour right there. Alright, there we go. So now we'll use this again to get out some final air bubbles. That looks about right. So now we're going to do the other side, and then we'll put it back in and show you the final product. Alright, so now that we have both of these done, it's time to plug them back in and see how they work. Alright, so now it's time to screw them back in. What I'm going to do is just stab the screw straight through the tint. I don't believe that will cause any problems. And then always make sure you plug the light back in and twist it. Alright guys, so that was my video on how to tint your blinkers, and as you can see they're looking really good and they match the paint really well, and I really like them. So if you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.